What's up, y'all, man? I want to talk about this Shawn Porter versus Terrence Crawford fight. Y'all know who I got, man. I got Terrence Crawford winning the fight. I got Terrence Crawford winning the fight by stoppage. Shawn Porter is a strong fighter, durable fighter, strong will fighter, mentally tough. He's going to come to fight, and he's going to push Terrence Crawford into the stoppage because I don't think Shawn Porter going to come in here and try to outbox Terrence Crawford. I think he's going to try to mix it up, right? He's going to try to mix it up. But at the end of the day, Shawn Porter is Shawn Porter. You know what I'm saying? I know the best way for Shawn Porter to fight is to come forward, put you on your heels, throwing, a lot of volume of punches, trying to go to your body, things of that nature. I always said that Shawn Porter is there to get stopped if you're willing. Now, this is if you're willing to stay in the eye of the storm where it's calm, because we know Shawn Porter likes to throw wide shots and he likes to smother his punches. If you're willing to stay in the eye of the storm and counter him, you can get Shawn Porter out of there. Of course, you got to be the right fighter. Not any fighter gonna be able to do it. But I thought Keith Thurman had a chance to do it, but Keith Thurman kept bagging up. I thought if Keith Thurman would have stood his ground a little bit more, he probably could have stopped Shawn Porter. He did hurt Shawn Porter on occasions in that fight, on a couple occasions in that fight. Earl Spence was able to put him down with a hook, and I thought that punch was there for Earl Spence for a lot of the fight, but Earl Spence did not set his feet and was not willing or did not have the ability to sit there and counter Shawn Porter and time Shawn Porter. It's about timing. It's about being able to time Shawn Porter amidst all the things that are happening. See, Shawn Porter does so many things that some people get in there and they get scrambled. Their brain gets scrambled because they're trying to figure out what Shawn Porter is doing. What you have to do with Shawn Porter is you have to use your jab and you have to get his timing down. Once you get his timing down, then you can work on countering him. But you have to get his timing down first. You can't just go in there and, fight Shawn Porter's fight. You have to use your jab, take small steps back. Don't take 2 and 3 steps back because that's how you get caught with his hook. Because Shawn Porter like to throw that wild leaping hook. Just take a half a step back. Make sure you're still in defense, but make sure you're ready to counter, to pull the trigger. You have to pull the trigger. And see, this is where Terrence Crawford comes in. This is what Terrence Crawford is really good at. Terrence Crawford is really good at timing and countering you. That's why I said that if Shawn Porter fights Terrence Crawford got a chance to stop the guy because of the the way that Terrence Crawford fights. He just has a gift for timing someone and countering somebody. This is just like a Marquez. You remember Marquez can time people and counter people real good. Counter punchers and guys that can time you, those are special type of fighters. You know what I'm saying? They have that instinct. It's an instinct. You know what I'm saying? It's more like an instinct because they probably couldn't even tell you that when they counter someone. It's just what they do. It's just in their makeup. I don't know when the stopper is going to happen. Now, originally I picked him to stop Shawn Porter 9 or 10, up in there somewhere, 9, 10, 11, up in there somewhere, 9 or 10. But if Terrence Crawford does what I think Terrence Crawford can do and should do, I think he can get the stoppage. I think he can get the stoppage earlier. I think he can get the stoppage around about 5 or 6, because no one has really put Shawn Porter on a back foot. Shawn Porter usually likes to come in there and dictate the fight. He kind of dictated the fight against everybody that he fought. Now, he dictated the fight. Some of the rounds that he dictated was Keith Thurman and Earl Spence. They were able to hit him with cleaner shots, eye-popping shots that the judges gave Earl Spence the fight. I thought Keith Thurman beat Shawn Porter. I thought it was clear to me that he beat Shawn Porter. He didn't dominate Shawn Porter, but I thought it was clear. I thought he edged out the Earl Spence fight, but that was a close fight. But Terrence Crawford can put him on his back foot and don't let Shawn Porter dictate the fight, because if Terrence Crawford come out and put Shawn Porter on his back foot, then we can see if Shawn Porter can fight off his back foot consistently, and how good is he on his back foot. I don't think he's that good on his back foot. Not against nobody like Terrence Crawford. He wouldn't be able to fight on his back foot because Terrence Crawford is longer. He has just as good as fast feet as Shawn Porter. I always think, when I see Shawn Porter, I always say Shawn Porter just moves a little bit too much for me. He he does those in and out, side to side, and then he'll do some unorthodox movements in there. A lot of that stuff is just to throw you off. You know what I'm saying? Guys can get thrown off from that. The way he moves unorthodox in the ring. Shawn Porter is a unorthodox type fighter too. That's why you have to time him. That's why you got to use your jab, because that's going to be your space finder. Use your jab. Control him with the jab. Because I thought Ugas did a good job of going to Shawn Porter's body. That's another thing Terrence Crawford does. He does go to your body real good. And I thought Ugas went to Shawn Porter's body very, very well. He was actually countering Shawn Porter to the body, which you don't see a whole lot of guys countering guys to the body. Like he was Shawn Porter will come in, trying to punch, and then Ugas will just like kind of move out the way subtly, and he will counter Shawn Porter to the body. He hurt Shawn Porter a couple times to the body. He did drop Shawn Porter. They didn't count it. It wasn't official, but he dropped Shawn Porter, and he countered Shawn Porter. That's how he dropped him. Ugas a lot of times the counter was there and Ugas tried to counter him, but Ugas wasn't bringing his feet with his punches a lot of times. If Ugas would have matched up his feet with his punches, he probably could have stopped Shawn Porter. Because, like I said, Shawn Porter is not, I'm not saying everybody can stop Shawn Porter, but he's there to be stopped if you're willing to stay in the eye of the storm, because it's usually calm in the eye of the storm. And Terrence Crawford is the perfect fighter to get that stoppage. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be surprised if Shawn Porter went the distance. I'm pretty sure nobody would be surprised if he go the distance. Some people say they wouldn't be surprised if he beat Terrence Crawford. He got the chance to beat Terrence Crawford. I just think Terrence Crawford take the clean counter shots to the chin? Can Terrence Crawford take clean counter shots to the chin? Yes, Terrence Crawford can take clean shots to the chin. When have you seen Terrence Crawford knocked out? Now, we seen Terrence Crawford hurt against Gamboa. I thought that Mean Machine knockdown was a knockdown. It was unofficial, but I thought it was a knockdown. I thought he got hurt in that fight. But Terrence Crawford has not got hurt no more than anybody else got hurt. That's period, point blank. He has not got hurt no more than anybody else has got hurt. Every fighter gets buzz. The great Mayweather got buzz, right? Versus Shane Mosley. Remember, he got buzz? So everybody get buzz. Everybody gets hit. I don't know how y'all think boxing goes. People get hit in boxing. All fighters get hit in boxing. I don't care how great your defense is. You're going to get hit. Now, when you say, can he take a punch? Yes, he can take a punch. He's shown so far in his career that he can take a punch. Don't mistake not being able to take a punch to somebody getting punched or somebody getting hurt. Yes, people get hurt. People get hit with big shots. It's how often you get hit by those big shots and how many times a person in a round or throughout the fight can hit you with those big shots. I seen Terrence Crawford get hit by big shots. Yes, true. Usually when you're trying to go in there and you're trying to stop a guy, you leave yourself open to getting hit. That's what happens. When you hunt, sometimes you can get hit or sometimes you can be the hunter, the hunted. So that's what it is. Since Terrence Crawford moved to welterweight, he's been on a mission to try to stop guys. That's just the way he's been fighting at welterweight. It's just the way. Yeah, Mean Machine and Gamboa. Gamboa stunned Terrence Crawford. And what people don't realize about Gamboa is a fast twitch fighter That's when Gamboa was still in his prime. I'm not talking about the Gamboa that fought Haney or the Gamboa that everybody trying to fight now. When Terrence Crawford fought Gamboa, what, 6, 7 years ago, Gamboa was still in his prime. He was still Gamboa. Yeah, he hurt Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford was trying to hurt him. He ended up running into a big shot and he hurt Terrence Crawford. Did Terrence Crawford go down? No, he was buzzed. And then his recuperative skills, Terrence Crawford got really good recuperative skills. Like, some guys get hurt and they stay hurt. So Terrence Crawford has shown so far in his career that he can get hurt, but he can recruit real fast. So it's the same way you talking about can he take a punch? Talk about the man recuperative skills. You know what I'm saying? He can recruit real fast. Everybody gonna get hurt. It's just a fact is, do you stay hurt, or can you fight out of being hurt? Can you react? Can you keep your faculties together to be able to continue to fight at a high level? And Terrence Crawford, look, he got hurt against Gamboa, right? Stop Gamboa. He got hurt against Meat Machine. Stop Meat Machine. So, I mean, yes, he can take a shot to the chin. For all people talking about Shawn Porter is this granite chin. Y'all remember Shawn Porter was down versus Earl. He was down versus what's my guy name? He was down versus Ugas knocked him down. It was unofficial, but Ugas knocked him down. That was a knockdown. Go back and look at that fight. He got knocked down. He was down versus Adrian Broner. So for y'all saying can Terrence Crawford take a shot to the chin? Can Shawn Porter? I can say can Shawn Porter take a shot to the chin? Take a shot to the chin? Yes, Shawn Porter can take a shot to the chin because he's shown that he can get up and he can come back and continue fighting. But Shawn Porter has been down before. You know what I'm saying? It's just some people get a reputation for having a chin, and people look at other fighters and say, well, that fighter don't have a chin. But you look at that fighter and the fighter that you say have a chin, that you say have a granite chin, he's been down more times in his career than the other fighter that y'all try to question their chin. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But come tomorrow, I know I got Terrence Crawford by stoppage. You know, a lot of people say, well, he's not going to stop Shawn Porter because Shawn Porter don't get stopped. Yeah, everybody don't get stopped until the time they get stopped. You know, I remember everybody talking about Margarito this, Margarito that. Margarito don't get stopped. Margarito got a granite chin until Shane Mosley stopped Margarito. You know what I'm saying? So people, yeah, and up until they have a granite chin until they don't have a granite chin. And the way Shawn Porter fights is really tailor-made for a guy like Terrence Crawford, because Terrence Crawford is a pinpoint counterpuncher with power in both hands. Terrence Crawford got power in both hands. And I'm going to tell y'all this, too. Look for Terrence Crawford when he goes, he's going to come out orthodox. I believe he's going to come out orthodox. But if Terrence Crawford turns southpaw by round 2 or 3, he's going to stop Shawn Porter early, because when Terrence Crawford come out orthodox and round about 2 or 3, if he turn southpaw, that means he's already figured you out. You're figured out. And once he figure him out and get the timing, that's why I said Terrence Crawford got to come out using his jab. Once he figure out the timing, because Shawn Porter is unorthodox, once he figure out the timing, he's going to start countering Shawn Porter all day. And then it's going to come to a point to where how many shots can Shawn Porter take? How many clean counters? Because Shawn Porter is there to be countered clean, y'all. Y'all just don't realize how clean he's there to be countered. Y'all remember that shot that Errol Spence hit him with, that hook? That shot was there. If Errol Spence was willing to stand his ground in the eye of the storm, he probably would have stopped Shawn Porter. But he was going back too much. He was giving up too much ground. He was ending up with his back on the ropes. You can't do that versus Shawn Porter. You got to put Shawn Porter on his back foot, because then Shawn Porter is not dictating the fight. Shawn Porter like to dictate the fight coming forward. That's why I thought he lost that Ugas fight, because he tried to box Ugas, and I thought Ugas outboxed him. I thought Ugas outpunched him and everything, to the body and to the head. But, yeah, we'll see. You know what I'm saying? All the talking to be over tomorrow. We'll see. We'll turn on the pay-per-view and we'll see Terrence Crawford going to put on the show. He's going to put on a show versus Shawn. I'm not going to be surprised because I know what I'm looking at when I look at boxing. I know exactly what I'm looking at. I know when fighters fight certain fighters, what can happen. And I've been telling people since people have been saying they want to see Terrence Crawford fight Shawn Porter, because I want to see Terrence Crawford fight. I wanted the Earl Spence fight. I wanted the Keith Sturman fight. Shawn Porter was like third or fourth on the list. But, it was other fighters I wanted to see, but people kept on saying that Terrence Crawford is scared of Shawn Porter. So when he go in there tomorrow and stop Shawn Porter, I'm going to tell you what everybody going to say. Shawn Porter was not the same Shawn Porter. But this is the same Shawn Porter who gave Earl Spence life and death. And this is before the car accident, and this is before the eye injury. So nobody can use the eye injury in the car accident because Shawn Porter beat Earl Spence way before that. He beat him before those two things happened. So nobody can say, well, he gave Earl Spence a hard fight after the eye injury in the car accident. No. Actually, Shawn Porter fought him before both of those and gave him a hard fight to the point to where I thought Shawn Porter eked the fight out. And some other people thought Shawn Porter eked the fight out. At the very least, people thought it was real close. So Shawn Porter is a dog. Terrence Crawford is a dog with skill, though. Terrence Crawford is a dog with the skill on his side. Shawn Porter is just a dog. So we'll see. Tomorrow, we'll see. I got Terrence Crawford stopping him, like I said. I mean, I got Terrence Crawford with the stoppage. I mean, to me, this is an easy fight to break down. Shawn Porter likes to come in and try to, sometimes he'll surprise you and try to box a couple rounds. But Shawn Porter gonna do what Shawn Porter does, and that's come forward, throw a lot of punches, smother himself, and a lot of times, try to get you up against the ropes. You know what I'm saying? So he can go to your body and things of that nature. But Terrence Crawford is stronger than what y'all think he is. Everybody looking at Terrence Crawford because he came from 130. Because actually, Shawn Porter started his career at 160. I know a lot of people don't realize that, but Shawn Porter started his career at 160. I remember when when I first started seeing him fight, he was fighting at a higher weight class at 147. So, but Terrence Crawford came from 130, so everybody like, oh, you know what I'm saying? He's not that strong. So when he fought Jeff Horn, and he went in there and he was pushing Jeff Horn around, which Jeff Horn was a big 147 pounder. Jeff Horn was a guy that fought a lot of his fights. He fought at 154. He fought some fights at 154. And everybody thought Jeff Horn was going to be too strong for Terrence Crawford. But Terrence Crawford used to be a wrestler, because I used to wrestle. And I was, thin and skinny, just like Terrence Crawford growing up. In high school, I believe I was like 115 pounds. And I wrestled like about 120 or something like that. 120 or something like that. I wrestled like up in there somewhere. And my friends were all bigger than me. They were like 140, 145, 150. And I used to pick them up and toss them around. And I was like 20 pounds lighter than a lot of those guys. Wrestling strength is a crazy strength. Until you lock up with a wrestler, then that's when you know what real strength is. Lifting weights is not real strength, because all you're doing is lifting weights and putting them down. A weightlifter can be strong for a certain duration of time, but a wrestler can be strong for a long duration of time. It's like, how long can you be strong? A guy that lifts weights and say, oh, I bench 400 pounds, okay, that's fine. That's fine. You can be strong for a short period of time because you're used to just picking up the weights and putting it down. A wrestler is used to locking up against somebody's body or locking up with someone for a long period of time, so they get that long endurance strength. They have endurance and the strength. Like I had endurance, well, I still got it, endurance and the strength. So don't look at a person's body frame and look at another person's body frame that you think because he's bigger, he weigh more, that he's stronger. No, your body size doesn't dictate how strong you are. So don't be surprised tomorrow if y'all see Terrence Crawford match or surpass Shawn Porter's strength. Don't be surprised, because you can't just look at him and say, oh, he's thin. Shawn Porter is more on the stocky side, I think Shawn Porter should just bulldoze over Terrence Crawford, and that's what people are saying about Earl Spence. People think because they looking at Earl Spence and Terrence Crawford's size, they thinking like, oh, Earl Spence can just bulldoze over Terrence Crawford. No, no, he can't. No, he can't, y'all. No, that's not gonna be the case. Because every time I hear about that Terrence Crawford versus Earl Spence, and I got Terrence Crawford stopping Earl Spence too, but every time I hear about that fight, I never hear about the skill. Everybody always talk about how big Earl Spence is over Terrence Crawford. I never hear about skillfully how he gonna beat Terrence Crawford, because y'all know he not more skillful than Terrence Crawford. Everybody knows that Earl Spence is. When you see these two dudes fight, y'all. I mean, I don't know if y'all don't know what y'all looking at, but what I look at in two fighters and what I look at these two fighters, they not even on the same level skill wise. The only argument that people have in their mind is that Terrence Crawford hasn't fought hard competition like Earl Spence. When Terrence Crawford go in here and stop Shawn Porter tomorrow, y'all got no more excuses. When he go in here and stop this man tomorrow, now it's not gonna be indicative of what he gonna do against Earl Spence. I didn't need Terrence Crawford to fight Shawn Porter and stop Shawn Porter to show me what he can do against Earl Spence. I had Terrence Crawford stopping Earl Spence way before people was hollering for Shawn Porter to fight Terrence Crawford. I got videos saying I think Terrence Crawford 3 years ago that I think Terrence Crawford is going to stop Earl Spence. So I don't need this fight to show me. But a lot of y'all need this fight because y'all can't see. Y'all can't see it. So a lot of y'all probably need this fight tomorrow, which I don't blame you. Y'all need the fight. Y'all need to see it. Some people just can't. Some people just can't see the things that I can see. But when y'all see the fight tomorrow, a lot of people, and once he dominate Porter and stop Porter, a lot of people will be like, oh man, I think he can beat Earl. I thought he can beat Earl before that. I don't need that fight. I know special when I see it. When I seen Terrence Crawford fight Breeders Prescott, he was Breeders Prescott's late replacement. Actually, Terrence Crawford moved up to 140 to fight him, because I believe at that time Terrence Crawford was fighting at 130, 135, 130, 135, 130. One of them. He moved up, fought Breeders Prescott. And yes, Breeders Prescott is not a world beater. He's not the best fighter. He wasn't one of the best fighters at that time. But when I seen how he was moving in the ring, delivering his punches, defense, offense, counter punching, switching, all that stuff, I said, oh, that dude's special. That's a special fighter right there. I said, man, I want to see more Terrence Crawford. And by the time he got to 135, I was telling the guys I talked to on the phone, I was like, oh, he gonna go to 147. He gonna beat all those guys at 147. Oh no! The first thing they told me, no man, he too little. He too little. I said, no, he's not too little. Do y'all understand? In boxing, it's more of skill and range. And Terrence Crawford has the skill and he has the range. People fail to realize Terrence Crawford has a 74-inch reach. He got a longer reach than Demetrius Andrade, and Demetrius Andrade is 6 feet. He's 5'8", just like Mayweather. He got the same dimensions that Mayweather has, except he got longer arms. Even the Mayweather, he got longer arms. Because I believe Mayweather arms are 72-inch. He even got longer arms than Mayweather. Now, they got Mayweather listed at 5'8". I believe Mayweather was somewhere really about 5'7", but they got listed at 5'8". So Terrence Crawford got the same dimensions as a Floyd Mayweather. And skill-wise, Terrence Crawford is right there. So I look at it like, okay, Mayweather was able to move up, use his skill, use his IQ, because Terrence Crawford got ring IQ, and he was able to do that to nullify that he was smaller than those guys. And I said, Terrence Crawford can do the same thing. Oh, no, man, he too small. I said, okay. So when he beat Ndago at 140, became undisputed, and he said he was going to go to 147, they said the first fight was going to be Jeff Horn. A lot of people picked Jeff Horn to beat Terrence Crawford. And I told everybody, I said, y'all going to see, and this is the first time I told people, I said, y'all going to see that he's not too small for 47, that he's going to go in there and Jeff Horn is not going to be able to push him around. What'd he do? He ended up pushing Jeff Horn around and stopping Jeff Horn. Because like I told y'all, that wrestling strength is something different. Wrestling, and to y'all, I don't know if y'all wrestled in school. A lot of y'all wrestled in school, but if you wrestled in school and you locked up against another guy that's strong and he wrestles, that's real strength, man. Period. That's wrestlers are some of the strongest people. I'm talking about endurance and strength, a combination of endurance and strength. They may cannot bench 400 pounds and stuff like that, but what they can do is they have long lasting strength. Period. Point blank. They'll toss you all over the fucking room. But yeah, let me know what y'all think, man. I got Terrence Crawford by stoppage. I'm out.